This is the American Patriot's Bible. And to be honest, when I heard about it, I thought that it was a book about, the Word of God and the shaping of America. But it's not. It's actually the Bible with interspersions of American history and fact and quotes from different people. I'll do a full review later, but it's interesting that we have a Bible with the United States map, 50 states, and when they entered the Union, military, things, 7 principles of Judeo-Christian ethic, which is essentially a word and phrase invented in the last 150 years, made popular by the likes of Schofield. And of course, I guess somehow somebody agreed to these different principles. And the customary call to action, introduction, you have different writings, different things. I don't want to go into too much, but I want to take you to 2 different things real quick. First being a section called the American Revolution. One of these things that bothers me is this. Because the colonial leaders had tried to remain loyal to the crown and reconcile the differences, they were finally compelled to break away and revolt. Well, that's nice. It really is. So they go about justifying the turnaround on Romans 13 that the American colonial leaders had done, and they say, as a matter of fact, that it was primarily due to the churches that they were able to overcome and use the churches as really the bully pulpit of the revolution. It says that they became the primary source of stirred fires of liberty. They became leaders in their armies, the pastors did. And of course, they basically ignored Romans 13. It says, ministers turned the colonial resistance into a righteous cause. The problem with that is there's a lot of war crimes on both sides. And simply because ministers are attached to it doesn't make anything righteous. Secondly, they include sections on Christianity and equal rights. Because the Bible wasn't never used in American history to justify slavery or any other things, such as, women not having equal rights. And they include, of course, a picture of Dr. King, which is a great man in the civil rights movement and should be honored, but not in the Bible, especially since he denied the deity of Christ. Then you have President Obama, which again, great man, I'm sure. The greatness of him or his character is still bound to be determined. He's still a young man and only in office very shortly. And although we may like him or have supported him or even donated money to his cause, there's nothing biblical about the man. He should not be in a Bible. Then, of course, you have different things that kind of go along with it, but it's not commentary. It's what other people might have said or used in U.S. history. Speaking of those righteous causes and how wonderful the Bible's been used, do you remember Andrew Jackson? What about Manifest Destiny? The Puritans and the smallpox with Native Americans? Any of that? Well, that's about it. And I will hopefully make an interview or a review sometime next week.